if you start to piece all this together, why are they being so circumspect? Why are they not telling us very many details about this? Why are they claiming that it's so hard to recover these things? Well, one, I would hope that a $400,000 missile would probably obliterate a $12 balloon, just tossing it out there. Yesterday, Joe Biden came out and we carried him live, and he was discussing what the three objects that were shot down might have been. And he basically said, yeah, we don't think they were Chinese. It sounds like they weren't really a threat. And I saw this story up yesterday, and I can't believe this is from Aviation Week. Hobby Club's missing balloon feared shot down by United States Air Force. And this is really crazy. I'm reading directly from this article. What did your commander-in-chief deem such a threat that we had to scramble jets and fire $400,000 missiles to take down? A small globe-trotting balloon group declared, this is an Illinois-based hobbyist club, they believe that one of the three objects shot down may have been theirs. They are the Northern Illinois Bottle Cap Balloon Brigade. I can't believe that this is potentially real. The club is the Northern Illinois Bottle Cap Balloon Brigade. This may be what we spent $400,000 to shoot down. They say there is circumstantial evidence. The club's silver-coated party-style Pico balloon, I don't know what any of that means, by the way, reported its last position on February 10th at 38,910 feet off the west coast of Alaska, and a popular forecasting tool projected the cylindrically shaped object would be floating high over the central part of Alaska's Yukon Territory on February 11th. That's the same day that we, using an F-22, shot down an unidentified object of a similar description and altitude in the same area. They also, in this ballooning community, they use ham radio and high-altitude ballooning into a relatively affordable hobby. They have reached at, this is so crazy, this is a direct quote, I tried contacting our military and the FBI and just got the runaround to try to enlighten them on what a lot of these things probably are. And they're going to look not too intelligent to be shooting them down, said Ron Meadows, the founder of Scientific Balloon Solutions, a Silicon Valley company that makes purpose-built Pico balloons for hobbyist educators and scientists. These balloons, wait for it, cost between $12 and $180 each. We may have shot down a $12 balloon with a $400,000 missile. I'm guessing they were Pico balloons, said a retired FedEx engineer and the co-host of the Amateur Radio Roundtable show. This guy currently has 3 Pico balloons in flight in the northern and southern hemispheres. When this Aviation Week group contacted the FBI to ask them about whether it might be these balloons, the FBI and NORAD said they have no updates. So these Pico balloons I've never heard of them before. And some of you may be if you're an expert in Pico balloons, call into the show and explain whether or not you buy into, oh yeah, this could make sense as to what we are shooting down. But they literally can cost $12 and they can go high altitudes. And this group is nervous about the negative attention they're now getting. These Pico balloons weigh less than 6 pounds. They're exempt from most FAA airspace restrictions. And they, what is a Pico balloon? I've never heard of this before. They're typically about 3 feet in diameter. And then as they ascend, they go all the way up to 20 to 50,000 feet. and they keep track of them, the owners do, through HF and VHF, UHF radio links, and they have small GPS tracking devices attached as well, and the balloon will broadcast its position to let you know how exactly they are, how they are moving. This author, by the way, Steve Trimble, covers military aviation, missiles, and space for Aviation Week that I'm reading from right now. But given where we are, it feels like this might well be what occurred, and that the Biden administration was so embarrassed by the Chinese spy balloon coming into our country and traversing it that they updated their radar in an aggressive way so that maybe they started to pick up some of these hobbyist balloons, and then they scrambled their jets and went out and shot them down. This also would tie in with, okay, why would they stop? Because probably they recovered some of the materials here, and they were like, we just shot down a $12 balloon that some hobbyist in Ohio put into the sky. And that would also explain why they're not telling you what these objects are, because it's so humiliating to the Biden administration that we used a $400,000 missile and that we scrambled jets to shoot down $12 balloons that were set up from hobbyists to see how wind currents work. Yeah, that's, I mean, if you start to piece all this together, why are they being so circumspect? Why are they not telling us very many details about this? Why are they claiming that it's so hard to recover these things? Well, one, I would hope that a $400,000 missile would probably obliterate a $12 balloon, just tossing it out there. And how humiliating would it be after all of this attention for the Biden administration to have to come back out and say, yeah, well, it's definitely not of Chinese origin. No, of course not. It's just some hobbyist in the United States who decided to send their $12 balloons into 50,000 altitude, 50,000 feet altitude, and it's not tracked by the FAA. So if it showed up on radar, you're thinking, oh, this is maybe a Chinese spy balloon because you're embarrassed at the way you responded to the last Chinese spy balloon. But in reality, it's just hobbyist balloons. Politico, by the way, has picked up on the story we discussed earlier about the possibility that Joe Biden shot down one of these small hobbyist balloons and tried to treat it as if it were a major threat from Russia. And the fact that they are saying less and less about what exactly was shot down makes me believe, go figure, that this is more and more likely to have been true. And I just want to read you the Politico headline. Again, they're building on the story that we already shared with you about the fact that this was unlikely to have been a serious threat at all. This is from Politico. New. The Northern Illinois Bottle Cap Balloon Brigade tells Politico it believes one of the balloons shot down by the military was theirs. Cost of that balloon, $10 to $15. Cost of the missile to shoot it down, $400,000. We had a good discussion about this story already, but I wanted to make sure that you guys heard that, because one of the questions that has been out there is, what were the three objects that Joe Biden shut down? In fact, it's how we finished the show last week with the news that we were shooting these down. John Kirby, Pentagon spokesperson, was just asked about this in his briefing. I believe we have the audio for you. Listen.
Knowing everything he knows now, would he take the exact same steps and shoot off these expensive missiles at these benign objects?
We're going to put some more policy parameters in place, James, to govern the way we handle these going forward. You make the best decisions you can with the information you have at the recommendation of military leaders. I can't say it any more than that.
So the fact that they aren't telling you what they shot down, and the fact that you now have people who are able to track these things coming out and saying, hey, that was our $10 or $15 balloon off the coast of Alaska that got shot down, also would reflect why it's hard to recover the remainder of this, because I would imagine one of these $400,000 missiles being shot at a $10 or $15 balloon would create major refuse. I mean, how is there anything at all left? It feels like it would basically be disintegrated by this missile in general. And so, what a humiliating situation this is for the Biden administration. Not just to allow a Chinese spy balloon to come across the entire nation, but then to end up shooting down hobbyist balloons, because you believe that they might be Chinese spy balloons. Just humiliating.